Welcome to Josh's Chart Lab. This is a video that I'm going to be doing for you guys today. It's something different that I've been posting on the channel. It's not going to be an execution. It's going to be actually a loss I took today on EURUSD that I did share with my public channel I have on Telegram and on Instagram. Okay, so I just wanted to make this video to show you my thought process, what I was thinking. And I hope you guys learned something, because obviously I did, and then I'm going to show you guys what I should have done better and what I didn't look at. Okay, but before we get into the video and we get into the analysis, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who's messaged me, and everyone who's been praying for South Africa, especially with the dark time that we're in right now, the dark moment. So for some of you guys who don't know, who aren't aware, right now in South Africa, things are very, very bad. People are rioting, looting, destroying shops, stealing food, burning shops, burning malls, burning warehouses, burning property. It's a big mess right now, and it's very, very bad. It's crazy how everything escalated so quickly, because it only started last week, and the damage that's already been done in just a week, the amount of shops that have been burned, malls, warehouses, everything. It's very, very bad. It was a protest that got out of hand because our ex-president got arrested and people wanted him released. And long story short, over the weekend everything just went backwards, and yeah, so it's very, very bad right now. But thank you for everyone who sent me a message. Me and my family are safe. We haven't left our homes, so we good for now. We still have food. The only problem that's gonna come moving forward is because of everything. So the companies aren't delivering food to shops because they're scared their trucks are gonna get hijacked and burned. So shops are running out of food. Well, most shops have been looted and burnt and destroyed. The little shops that are left that have been opened, everyone's going there and panic buying. So obviously they're running out of food. So, and they can't get more food in because people or the companies aren't delivering food, and the shops that aren't selling anything, they're still closed. So it's going to get to a point where we won't have access to food, and it's going to get really bad. So hopefully in the next coming weeks or the next days everything gets better. It's still carrying on today, and it's Wednesday. It started like last week Wednesday. I heard a couple gunshots from my house today. I still see smoke, so things are still burning. So yeah, it's crazy, but everything will be alright. The universe has got my side, so I'm not worried, I'm not concerned. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has messaged me. So let's get right into the charts. Okay, so EURUSD, right? So first of all, okay, so we got this high here, right? Oh, and actually, before I even start analyzing, I just wanted to announce that everything I'll be sharing here or speaking about is straight from ICT, Inner Circle Traders YouTube channel. You can find everything on his YouTube channel. I do not teach, I do not mentor, and this is just me analyzing and discussing what I took on EURUSD today, and using the concepts and techniques that he teaches. And I do not do mentorship, I do not teach, and all credit goes to him, ICT, Inner Circle Trader, and everything I'm going to show here is all his concepts. Okay, so we can see EURUSD, right? So it took out the short-term high, or this long-term high rather, and it traded up into a bearish order block. Let's make this line red. Okay, so we took out the short-term high or long-term high into a bearish order block, right? And then from there we've kind of just kept going lower, right? So for me, EURUSD, my bias. Okay, so what was my bias? My bias was I want EURUSD lower and I want DXY higher. Why is that my bias? Okay, so as some of you or most of you know, I don't like catching tops and bottoms. So EURUSD right now has been clearly going lower. So I want to be trading with the momentum going lower. Okay, the only problem is now, okay, so from this low to this high, we're in a discount, right? So we're in a discount from this low to this high. So in order for me to partake in a sell, I needed to get into a short-term premium on a lower time frame to get in line with this bigger move down, if that makes sense. Okay, so that was my thought process going into the trade. So I was looking at, okay, so I woke up today. I didn't look at the charts during London. Had some stuff to deal with. Okay, so it's been pretty crazy week. Okay, so when I looked at the charts, I first went on the daily time frame. Okay, so what did I see? I first saw, okay, what has price actually been doing recently? Okay, so price went up. We traded up into this ICT fair value gap and then sold off. Took out the short term low. Price went up again. Took out some buy side liquidity and then sold off. Price went up again last week. Okay, took out a short term high here and then sold off. We had this big bearish candle yesterday, right? Okay, this big bearish engulfing candle. Okay, so after that candle, what would retail think? Okay, retail would think it's obviously going lower, right? So that was my thought process. Okay, retail obviously sees this as like a bearish engulfing candle, some sort of evening star candlestick formation, whatever. So they'll be looking to sell, right? But then I went on the daily and I saw this, right? So if you had to connect, okay, so I saw this. I was like, wait, what? This is the perfect third touch of a trend line. Okay, so for retail traders, they see this as a perfect buying opportunity. So this right here would be an ideal buy. And for me, I'm like, okay, if this was a bearish candle into a third touch, retail would be looking at this as a potential buy. So instantly I was like, okay, I need to look for shorts because I don't want to be buying something that's literally a perfect third touch of a trend line. A lot of people can see this. I'm not the only one who's drawn the trend line like this and can see this potential third touch. So I'm still expecting a drop lower to take out this trend line and maybe take out the short-term low. Okay, so let's remove the trend line. So that's what I first saw, right? So I saw this trend line. So I was like, okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, so we know that this is a third touch of the trend line, right? So we got this old low here. Okay, so when this is what I do when I look at especially a daily time frame. I think that if this was an M5 chart or M15 chart, was price is fractal, would I be looking to buy an order block here, or would I expect this low to get taken first as liquidity? Like, would this be like a market maker sell model on an M5 chart? And from my understanding, it looks like if this was an M5 chart, I'd be expecting a run below here before any sort of like rally. Okay, so I always do this when I look at the higher time frame. That what would I do if this was a lower time frame chart? Okay, so looking at the daily, right? So okay, so okay, so we created this imbalance here. Okay, this fair value gap. Okay, price went down, created this fair value gap. Price went up, had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts to go higher and struggled. And then we saw the sell off, right? To take out the low. Okay, so from here to take out this low, okay, that showed for me that okay, this is showing that it wants to continue going lower. Okay, a lot of people wanted to come maybe fold this imbalance up here, but it didn't really need to at the time, and it didn't. It just folded this one and then went lower. Okay, so then we still been carry on going lower. Okay, then last week, right, we took out another low, and then price had these two bullish candles. Okay, so what do we know about bullish candles, especially in a bearish market? So we know up close candles create bearish order blocks. Institutions sell into institutions sell into up candles, so they sell into rallies, and that's how we form a bearish ICT order block. Okay, so let's zoom in a little closer here. So this low is what my bias is telling me that I wanted to come take out this low. So that's my thought process. So this is what I was thinking going into the trading day today. Okay, so then I saw this, right? So we got that there. Okay, so this is the daily fair value up high. Okay, so that's the daily fair value up high, daily fair value up low. Okay, so price came, reacted off the low, went up, came back down, broke the low, came back up last week, and then yesterday, boom, came back down, taking out this low as well. Okay, so now I'm thinking, okay, price is struggling to really like bounce up from this level, and this is a level where if we are bullish or we should be bullish, this is a nice level where I would like to see a fast reaction, and it's really been kind of in a range, and then we saw the sell off right here. Okay, so now with those levels on the chart, okay, so now this is what I'm seeing now. So I see that this sell off here has now created a bearish order block. Okay, so we have this up close candle, and now we've closed below it. Okay, so now we can mark out okay, so this is the bearish order block. Okay, so now remember I spoke about how from this low to this high to down here is discount. So I needed to go into a short-term premium for me to be interested in sales. Okay, so that's what we were having here. So I looked at the trend line, right? So this was the third touch of the trend line. I'm like, what's retail thinking? Retail thinking that this is going higher. So I saw this candle, right, and it was fully green. It was bullish. It's still green right now. And I looked at the economic calendar, right? I went to forexfactory.com, and I saw that in New York session there was high impact news at 8:30, and then there's more high impact news at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. But it was 6 p.m. my time. Okay, so Fed Powell speaking. So the 8:30 news didn't do much, and then the Fed news didn't do much as well. But beforehand, okay, so when I went on the charts, the 8:30 news had passed, right, and nothing much had happened. Nothing much had happened, okay. So prices rallied, right, and we are now at this low end of the bearish order block, right? So that's my PD array that I'm using on the daily time frame. For me, when I trade, I always like using higher time frame PD arrays, daily mostly, and H4, and then from there I will then go into a lower time frame to find the entry. Okay, so prices come up now and hit the low end of the bearish order block, and in doing so, it's also trading back into the fair value gap that we're struggling to bounce off on. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe this could be a potential reversal. Okay, so now I'm thinking, okay, what daily profile could we potentially have right here? Okay, so we can see that price has expanded higher. Okay, the candle's fully green right now. So I'm like, okay, so this low probably formed in London. Okay, prices went higher. What's my bias? I wanted to go lower. So what daily profile am I looking at? I'm looking at, okay, could potentially be an RCT, London swing to a New York open, London close reversal. Okay, what would be the catalyst for me to predict a reversal? Are they news? Are we trading into a premium PD array? Like, what's happening? I'm like, okay, there's news at 8:30. It didn't do much. There's news at 10 a.m. for London close. I'm like, hey, okay, London close usually does make the high of the day. So now I'm thinking, okay, London close makes the high of the day. There's a premium array being the bearish order block. I am bearish on the pair. I wanted to go lower. Okay, so now I have a bias and I have an area of interest that I'm looking at. Okay, so now let's go to M30 first. Okay, so let's just go to H1. Okay, so now this is that low end of the daily bearish order block, right? Okay. Okay, so we can see here that we got this fair value gap. Price came up here, respected it, and then we saw the sell off after taking buy side liquidity. Okay, we also have buy side liquidity that's been taken there, right? So the job's been done here. So when price comes back up here, take out this buy side liquidity, and then we see this fair value uphold, and then we saw price then show the displacement to go lower. Okay, so when this happened here, right here, this drop here, for me that showed the confirmation that okay, price then wants to show that it wants to go lower. Okay, because it reacted with a high time frame PDO rate in line with the bearish stance, but I wasn't on the charts. I think this was what, Monday. Okay, so I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't need to see that. Okay, so then price then yesterday, right, moving forward to yesterday, we had a high impact news, then price went lower, went up, and then traded back lower, and then broke below this up day. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so this was the candle on Friday. Okay, can you see how it opened, went lower, went higher? So PO3, and it was a bullish day. So this was the bearish order block that I'm referring to today. Okay, so when price went down, broke below that, it confirmed this as a bearish order block. Okay, so now let's put on this week's so what we have here, we have Monday's trading. Didn't really do much, pretty much in a range, but they show that displacement lower, showing us that okay, price wants to indeed go lower after reacting with a premium array. Okay, it went up and then traded lower again on Tuesday. We had a big bearish day. This is the bearish day that confirmed this up day as a bearish order block. Okay, now moving into Wednesday, and then Tuesday also took out this low, right? Okay, we took out this low. But okay, so I was looking at this low as like, maybe this could be a potential like total soup to then run higher. But then on the daily, this is a perfect third touch of a trend line. So I'm like, okay, I don't really trust that. And there's also equal lows here, so I'm like, okay, I think it can go lower. So what's the daily profile? So let's go to M15. Okay. Okay, so this is that daily bearish order block. So let me make this lighter. Okay, so this was my thought process here. Okay, so let's put it horizontal rate. Okay, so price opened, kind of rallied, dropped, went down, took out the lows, and then went higher, going into New York Open, right? And the time at 8:30. So this was the back of the news. Price went up, dropped back down, consolidated, and now I'm looking at okay, where is the price action right now? Like what sort of interest or what area are we at? Okay, so if you look at the M15 chart, right? So we have this up close candle right here, and then we have the move lower. So this is the ICT bearish order block. So now I'm looking at this bearish order block, and I'm looking at the mean threshold, which is the middle of it, and price keeps rejecting, and then finally we had this last push up. Okay, in London close, took out just the short-term high, and then went straight back down into the back below the mean threshold. Okay, so that's when I went short right there And my stop loss, I think it was 11 pips. Yeah, it was 11 pips on the dot. Okay, so that was my stop loss. Okay, let me move this line. Okay, remember my target was that low we spoke about. So that was my long-term target, obviously. And then I was obviously going to take partials along the way. So that was my full, that was my entry, that was my stop loss, right? So this SMT divergence, okay, so when I was in front of the charts and I saw this, I was like, wait, there's the short-term high here. There could be liquidity above it. But what has DXY done? I was like, okay, let me look at DXY. Okay, so as you guys know, looking at the videos in the channel, I like basing my trades off a daily profile. So I always trade a daily profile, and I try to predict which daily profile will be to give me the highest probability to engage in the market. If I don't see a daily profile, I don't trade. So my prediction was the daily profile would be, as I said, the RCT London swing to New York Open, London close reversal. So that's what I was playing with, and I saw this. So I saw DXY take out the short-term low. Okay, this low that formed at 10:15 yesterday on the 13th of July. The high that formed yesterday at 10:15 on the 13th of July, EURUSD failed to take. Which for me, my thought process was, okay, that means EURUSD is weaker. It's failing to take out the high. DXY took out the low. This could be like some sort of smart money accumulation for DXY to then rally. After taking out the short-term low, it also went into an order block and closed in this fair value gap. So I'm like, okay, so that could be the catalyst for this to go higher, in line with my bearish stance. Okay, so DXY has been making higher highs and higher lows pretty much for a long time, and it could potentially go higher. So that's what I was looking at. I'm like, okay, USD has been going lower, DXY has been going higher. I don't want to try to catch the top. So let me look for reasons to be a buyer of the dollar instead of looking for reasons to sell it. So, and also I looked on the M30 and I saw this ICT mitigation block. So we have this low, this high, high, low, and then price went higher, came back and was trading into it, and that's where we saw the SMT divergence. Okay, so after that, I then sent my charts to the Josh's Chart Lab channel that I was executing the trade at the mean threshold, stop loss above the high. The reason why my stop loss was there was I was playing off the SMT divergence. So if this was really SMT divergence that I was basing my trade off, I don't want to see price take out this high, because I'm backing off the weakness of the euro to fail to take out this high. And if you look, the way I entered, right, it was the mean threshold of this up close M15 candle, and it was that daily bearish order block that we spoke about that was on Friday. So this low here, and if you look deeper, it's also a breaker, ICT breaker. So we have this high, this low, and a higher high. Then price came back down, broke it, and came back. So this down close candle here before the move higher is a breaker. So that's what we came back and traded into there. So it was a nice level for me to look for short-term premium to go and sell in line with the daily profile that I was looking at. So that was the trade setup. Okay, so price then hit. I was in the trade. Price went up, a little bit of drawdown, went a little bit of profits, and then price. I think Powell started speaking at 12. Yeah, 12 a.m. That's when Powell started speaking. Price then was just hovering, and then it started pushing up higher. I was like, I don't like this price action. Powell's speech didn't do much. Let me collapse the trade. I collapsed the trade, I think, around 5 or 6 pips in drawdown. I took a loss of just over 0.5% because I was risking 1% on this trade. So I closed around 5 or 6 pips in drawdown. So I took a loss just over 0.5%, nothing major. I'm not touched about it. For me, the trade made sense. Okay, so now that was my reasoning to why I took the setup and why I took the trade. What I didn't do, or what I didn't realize, is I won't even lie, this always happens to me. I always forget to check Euro GBP. I just hate the pair. I just always forget to check it, and it's actually so important because if you look at it, so that's what I did, and that's my analysis of what I did and what I was looking at before the fact. So let's look at a little bit of hindsight. So hindsight DXY. Okay, so if we actually look hindsight on DXY, we can see that DXY is actually in a range. We are in this range. We're not trending, we're not nicely pushing high or anything. We're literally in a range, moving sideways. Like, this is a range. So DXY has been in a range for the last 13 days, pretty much. This range, we're literally in a range, which means that I shouldn't be looking at DXY as confirmation to take a trade. I should be looking at EURUSD, because if DXY is getting held in consolidation, that means the move is, or EURUSD is either trending or it's giving me a signal to show me which pair is stronger, which pair is weaker. So let's look at EURUSD. So let's go on the daily time frame. If we look at EURUSD on the daily time frame, right? So EURUSD has taken the sell side liquidity, and in doing so has traded into this daily bullish order block. Okay, so we are in discount on EURUSD, which means that should we have a reaction from this discount PDRA, which is this ICT bullish order block, for price to go higher, it would mean that EURUSD is either going to consolidate, move sideways, or go higher because Euro is strong, or GBP USD will sell. So should DXY, as my bias was DXY to go higher, so should DXY go higher, the sell won't be in EURUSD, but it will be in GBP USD. Okay, so the reason being is for Euro GBP to hit a discount period after taking out liquidity to then trade higher, it would mean that GBP is weak and the euro is strong. So if the euro is strong and GBP is weak, Euro USD can't be a short because euro is strong, which means Euro USD sells are high resistance. Okay, so now that's what I didn't check before taking my EURUSD sell. I don't look at EURGBP at all until after the fact. Actually, someone sent me a message on Telegram and told me to check out EURGBP. So shout out to you. And then I'm like, oh damn, I never look at EURGBP. And when I actually looked at it, I was like, oh damn, this actually makes so much sense, because also, if you can see, this is like a little AMD, so we had this accumulation. This was the manipulation into that daily bullish order block, and then we saw the displacement high to take out these buy side liquidity and close in this imbalance. So if I looked at this before the fact, because this all happened prior to the trade I took, this was at 11 AM. So if I saw this before the fact that, okay, we could reach up into here since we had a daily PD array, I wouldn't have looked at EURUSD shorts. I would have maybe looked at GBP USD shorts, but I don't really trade GBP USD like that. But that's where the trade setup would have been in GBP USD and not Euro USD. So my mistake today, what I learned was always look at Euro GBP. No matter how much you hate the pair, just always know what it's doing, because it will show you if you should trade Euro USD or if you should trade GBP USD. And in my case, because I don't like GBP USD, I would have just sat on my hands and not done anything. But this was pretty clean on Euro GBP side to go from discount to premium, and showing that Euro GBP wants to go higher. That means Euro USD sells will be high resistance. Euro USD will either consolidate or it will push higher, and GBP USD will go lower because Euro GBP is going higher. So that was some intermarket analysis, that a lesson that I learned today, something that I know that I didn't really check. Reason being is I just don't like Euro GBP, and if I looked deeper, DXY is actually in a big consolidation. So me looking at Euro GBP would have been vital in my analysis for today, and I would have probably would have got away with that loss I took on Euro USD. But no problem, no biggie. We're always learning. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something. I just thought I'd make this quick video explaining why I took EURUSD, what was my thought process, and what I learned from today, because you're always learning, right? And if you enjoyed the video, if you didn't like the video, please comment below, let me know. Please like, share, subscribe. I will do more videos. Let me know if you want more videos of me doing this sort of stuff, analyzing, showing trades. Yeah, let me know. But yeah, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it, and thanks for everyone keeping us in your prayers and your thoughts in this dark time that we have in South Africa right now. We still good, we still have food, so I'm grateful every day. And yeah, we just have to focus on what we can control. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. That was my alarm going off. It's 8 p.m. right now, which means I need to do my afternoon meditation. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Please share, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys on the next video, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. If you want to get a hold of me, if you want to contact me, my link for my Telegram channel is on this YouTube channel. If you want to send me a DM, you can go on my Telegram channel, and in the bio it says Joshua_ChartLab, or you can just search that on Telegram. If you want to send me a DM on Instagram, it's Joshua Gumede, Gumede. You can contact me on Instagram as well. You can follow me on Instagram. I will also be posting more content on Instagram. On my Instagram, I usually post trades, motivation, fitness. So yeah, it's a pretty productive Instagram, I must say. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.